Okay. I am Crystal's replacement today for the boys A event. The first dive, a forward 1 1/2 somersault. It's a little far out, but straight in the water. Let's see what the judges give it. 5 1/2 sixes, right in the middle. Now we're going to do a back dive. He's going to jump up and touch his toes. Then he's going to open back up and go in the water straight. Good top, great bottom. Judges should give this a little higher score, maybe 2 points, more than last one. 7 1/2s, great. Now, the next diver is going to do an inward dive straight, a classic from the 1970s. He's going to dive towards the board in layout. Very good dive. Reminds me of all the black and white videos I've seen of diving. Now, we have another forward 1 1/2 pike. It's a popular dive. Okay, great dive, but he had a little twist in there. Let's see if the judges can see it from their angle. Some of them saw it, some of them didn't. But of course, I could see it from across the pool. Okay, we have a 1-1-3 here. A flying forward 1 1/2 somersaults. You start off in layout, and then you pike. Another old-fashioned dive. Next, Levy will be doing a forward 1 1/2, the most popular dive around. It's like they're having a sale on him. He had a little, well, actually a lot of twist on the board, but he saved it. It could have been a 0, but he turned it into a 4. Good job. Now we have another back dive pike. A backward jump. Touch the toes. They try to get the chest as close as they can to the legs. Let's see what he does. Extremely good top, great bottom. And the judges give it 7s. A great dive. And again, the popular 103B. Good hurdle. And he does the dive. His head's a little bit out of line. And he gets 6 6 1/2. Now Noah also doing the 103B, forward 1 1/2 somersaults pike. Okay. Pretty solid dive. 6 1/2. Adrian do also a 103B. Kind of boring. We like to break it up and have some more dives, but it's what the divers are comfortable with. Okay, jumped a little higher than the rest of the divers, but did not get a flat palm on the water. So he did get 6 1/2 and 7s to keep. Okay, we're already on the second round, and he's doing a back dive pike, otherwise known as a 201B. A little weak in the jump, a little soft on the bottom. Let's see how the judges handle this. 3 1/2 and 4. Now we're going to do the same dive with a front hurdle. He's going to jump forward, reach up, touch his feet to his hands, come out. A very good dive, extremely clean, a little bit over. But they still gave it 7 and 7.5. Good job. Now, for those of you who are bored of the 1.5B, here comes another one. Wow, that was a good dive. Okay, 7.5s in the first 8 of the contest. Great job. Now, another back dive pike. Okay, his arms were up a little late, so he had a little struggle getting his legs up. 6s and 7s. Now, Ollie will be doing what used to be called in the States a cutaway. Now it's called an inward dive. You jump backwards on the board and then spin towards the board. Inward, they call it. Okay. Ollie got a little stuck in the dive, which means he wasn't spinning very fast. And the judges recognized it and gave it 5.5s and 6s. Now here's another one. It's an inward dive layout. Essentially, it's the old swan dive going backwards towards the board. Much more difficult than the front dive. You got to get your ankles above your head, and he didn't quite get them all the way straight above his head, and it will reflect in the judges. 5.5s. Philip will be doing a reverse dive pike, and again, that's the back dive pike with a forward hurdle. Okay, very solid dive, a little soft in the stomach, so we got 6.5s and 7s. And again, Jack will be doing the cutaway backward jump with a forward dive pike. Okay, and Jack quite didn't get his feet above his head. And got 5.5 and 6s. Now Noah is going to do the back dive tuck. It's a backward jump. He's going to bend at the knees and squeeze his lower part of his leg into his chest. And it's a little harder to control. Let's see what he does. Okay, very nice. Nothing great, but very solid. And he kept mostly 6.5s. The divers have to cover 5 groups in the first 5 dives: a front, a back, a reverse, an inward, and a twister. So you're going to see a lot of common dives in the first group. Adrian touched a little high. When he touched his feet, he knew he was going over, which means he over-rotated, and the scores reflect that with 4.5s. Okay. Speaking of going over, 3.5s. Okay, inward dive straight here. Old school, extremely well done. I bet he keeps 7.5. So let's see if they agree. 6.5 sevens. They disagreed with the announcer, but they have a better seat. Next dive up is from the back category, a back dive pike. Let's see. Okay. Great out. After he touched, he came out extremely strong. All the judges agree, 7.5. We call that a bingo. Now we have another one, a reverse dive pike, forward approach with a back dive. Okay, very clean, slightly over. 6s he keeps. Now we have another back dive tuck. Usually the reason they're doing it in tuck is to lower their DD on the back dive because they have a maximum limit on the first 5 of 9.0, and they're going to do a harder dive somewhere in the first group of 5. Doing the simpler dives gives them room with the DD limit to do a harder dive later. And he kept 5s. And another back dive pike, tuck, excuse me. Interesting. I'm curious what the rest of their list is going to be. Okay. That one wasn't as well done as the others, but let's see how the judges reflect. And 5 straight across. The judges all agreed. Okay, the ever popular 103B. Forward 101/2 pike. Leaning a little forward, great top, great bottom. I think they're going to go high on this one. Let's see. 7.5 and 7 and 1/8. Now Jack is going to do the back dive pike. Okay. Jack's shoulders went a little far back on the start, which made it hard to go in straight. Now Noah is going to do the reverse dive straight. Very old school. Beautifully well done. He flinched a little bit on when he went to close on the dive, and they marked off for that. Otherwise, it would have been a higher score, 7.5s and 6s. And Adrian's going to do the reverse dive as well, but he's going to add 1.5 somersaults in tuck. Okay, great top, came out short. And he kept mostly 5s on that dive. Now we're on round 3. Or I should have said round 4. My apologies. Inward dive pike. Great pike, a little bit over. 5.5, 6s. Okay. Let's see here. The ever popular 103B. That might be the best one of the event. 7.5s with an 8. Okay, reverse dive pike. Nice dive, a little far from the board, but he got 6.5s and 6. Okay. Now we have a diver from the local club. He should be very comfortable this pool. Inward dive, open arms to control the dive a little easier. Very clean entry. 6.5s. Now we have a reverse dive tuck. Okay, a little short on the reach coming off the board. And a little over on the bottom, 3.5s and 4s. Now we're getting we have another reverse dive tuck. Levy, who's born in 2009. Okay, decent dive. It's probably 5.5, 6, or all 5s. Okay. We're back to the retro dives, inward dive straight. In the old days, I mean the 60s, 70s, and beginning of the 80s, this was almost a required dive and everybody did it. Now you don't see it as often. Great dive, a little short, but he worked it. Okay. Now, the reverse, one of the 5 groups that he's covering, is going to do a front jump, tuck, and spin backwards towards the board. Fairly nice. 6 and 5.5s. Now, Noah's going to do the cutaway or the inward dive. And Noah's going to do it in pike. There you go. And Noah brought both arms down in front where some of the other divers brought it out to the side. That gives him a little bit more power, and he got rewarded for it. Adrian will be doing the same dive. Adrian trains in Texas with the son of Kuni Schultz, a former Swedish diver. Great dive. Little stuck because he went out to the side. 6.5s and 7s. Now we're getting into the twisting round. It's going to do a 1.5 somersaults, but it's going to add a twist in the middle. There he goes. Wasn't exactly a stellar dive, but his coach, Brian's exciting. 4.5s and 5s. Now, going to do a front approach, and he's going to spin back towards the board 1.5 times, and he's going to put a half twist in the middle. So, 1 1/2, half turn. Okay, this may be the highest scoring dive of the meet so far. 2 8s and some 7.5s. Okay. It's going to do the same dive. It's going to be hard to follow that last dive. Very well done. Not quite as high or sharp as the one previously. 6.5s and 7s. Linus is going to do a forward approach, 1.5 somersaults, and 1 twist in the middle. Here he goes. 1.5, 1 twist in the middle, flat palms on the water. That made the splash smaller. Okay. Judges didn't like that so much. 4.5s and 5s. Okay, the same dive. 1.5 somersaults with a twist in the middle. Good hurdle. Okay. Fairly accurate dive, but he wasn't quite straight with his legs. And it's reflected in his scores. Okay. He's going to spin backwards 1.5 times with a half twist. So let's see. Up, 1.5, half turn. Okay. He fell backwards on takeoff, made it a little difficult, and reflected also in the scores. And again, forward 1.5 somersaults, 1 twist, free, which means he can do it in any position he wants, but when he hits layout, it's easier to twist. Extremely good dive. He missed his pike on the bottom. That brought him over. He got 6.5s. Now Jack's doing a 51-32D. That's the technical name for a front 1.5 somersaults with 1 twist. Very solid dive. His chin was a little up, so his head poked out on the bottom. So he got 5.5s instead of 6s. Okay. Let's see what we have here. We have the same dive. Cleaner on the bottom, but a hair short. Judge number 3 is still thinking about it, or her pad is down. They use electronic scoring here. They have to punch a number in, press send. They've been doing it all day, so it's probably an error in the equipment. These holdups actually make the divers who's current get a little tight. They're nervous and they're waiting, and their muscles tighten up as they wait. Adrian's going to do a forward 1.5 somersaults with 1 twist in the free position. Great hurdle, good twist, pretty good bottom. Slightly over from the boy from Texas with gets 6.5s. And we're ready to start round 6. This is the optionals. There is no limit, so they can do much harder dives. So they've gone from pretty much the basics, covering every group, to the optionals, which are the dives that we all like to watch. There's more action, and also a greater chance to go splat. It's kind of like watching auto racing. We don't really watch them, we wait for the crashes. But not that there will be any today. The table is preparing or fixing the scorecard. Okay. The scoreboard which gives the numbers and the description of the dive, is not working at the moment. So they're going to announce the number. In international competitions, every dive has a number. So when you're in China and they announce a forward 1 1/2 somersault and pike in China, if you don't understand it, you can read the number, a 105B. Here it comes, 105B, forward 1 1/2, 2 1/2 somersaults, up in tuck. He had a questionable hurdle and a questionable throw. So he got between 1 1/2 and 3. Now we're going to spin backwards, 1 1/2 somersaults and pike. Very pretty dive when it's controlled well. Okay, excellent top. A little out late, and he also came out with this upper body that helped bring it over. He got 6 1/2s and 6s. The top itself was probably a 7 1/2, and he got marked down a little bit because of the come out. Now he's going to spin 1 1/2 times towards the diving board. Let's see. Yep. Solid dive, nothing fancy to give it a 7. And the judges agreed with me this time, 6s and 6 1/2s. Okay. Back 1 1/2 somersaults with a half twist. Whoop, my apologies. Inward 1 1/2 somersaults, pike. Same dive the previous diver did, and almost the same scores. Okay, now we're going to do the back 1 1/2 somersaults with a half twist. He's going to reach his arms above his head. There's two options, two good options on how to twist. Let's see. He twists above his head. Good. He was a little close to the board. He might have actually tapped it with his feet, which caused him a break on his pike. Didn't hurt. But he got between 1 1/2 and 2. Now, another forward 1 1/2 somersaults with a twist in the middle. Okay. A little early in the twist, which caused him to lose some rotation, but it went in straight, 5 1/2, 6. Okay, another inward 1 1/2 somersaults pike. He adjusts his suit and he gets ready to go. Okay, had a great start. He had a great throw down, a little late with the ankle snapping, so he spun slow, 5 1/2, 6s. Now Jack's going to do a forward 2 1/2 somersaults, tuck. Forward approach and 2 1/2 somersaults. Let's see. Okay. Great job on the start for Jack. He wasn't confident on the out and a little early. So he got 4s on that. Noah doing the forward 2 1/2 somersaults and tuck. Great top, great bottom. Super. Noah has the strength to do it in pike, but he probably hasn't been diving long enough to do it the next level. 5 1/2 and 6s. Now, this is a forward 2 1/2 somersaults pike. Let's see how Adrian does. Solid. Very good. He made that look easy. And he actually went in straight this time. 6.5 sevens. Okay. He's going to spin backwards 1.5 times in tuck. Not a common dive in this age group. A little hard to control. Let's see. Yeah, did a great job. He dives for one of the best coaches around, and he got 4.5 fives. But the good thing about it is, you know, he's going to get better. Now, a reverse 2.5 somersaults tuck. Great top. Out a little early. When you're anxious, time seems to slow up, and you think it's time to come out, and it's not. 4.5s, but a very difficult dive. But not as difficult as this one. He's going to do a forward 3.5 somersaults, 3.0. In the 80s, this was the limit on how hard a dive could be. Very solid job. The out could have been stronger, but it's a difficult dive. 6 and 5.5. That's the correct score, but everybody cheered for him because they know how difficult that dive is. Now, another back 1.5 somersaults. Again, kind of a beginner level dive and difficult to control, but a great skill dive. Awesome. He's going to receive pretty good scores. Let's see what they give it. 5s, but the DD is low. So they multiply the scores by the DD. You want to do an easy dive well, and you can get away with doing a really hard dive, not quite as good, and still scoring the same amount of points. Okay, 2.5 tuck. Very good up with the hips, but he didn't have a very long throw down, so it was a little bit slow. Okay. Another back 1.5 somersaults. It's rated 2.0 versus a front 3.5 that's rated at 3.0. A little bit short. He swung his arms up, but he didn't get them all the way up, which makes everything a little slow, and he receives 4s. Okay, Philippe. Forward 1.5 somersaults pike. This dive's rated at 2.4. Let's see. So, little short, which means he didn't rotate enough. So 2.4. They keep the middle 5 scores. That's 3 5s. That's 15 times 2.4. And that would be his total score for that dive. Okay, inward 1.5 tuck. Solid dive, but he came out with slightly crimped knees. And he got mostly 5.5s. Now, Noah will be performing, and it is a performance, and it's a little bit of a showmanship in the sport. Reverse, where he goes forward and then spins back towards the board 1.5 times with a great kick out, and the entry is very solid. Let's see. 5.5s. Adrian will be doing a back 1.5 somersaults pike. leaned back a little on the start. Not a bad out. Kind of average. Let's see if the scores are average. Well, the judges all disagreed. 6 to 4.5. They disagreed with each other from their seats. And a reverse 1 1/2 somersaults. Tuck. Fours, and that's rated at 2.1. Okay, now we're getting fancy here. We're going to do a reverse 1 1/2 somersaults with 2 1/2 twists. This dive is rated at 3.0. 1, 2, 2.5. Great. He came out of the twist a little on the early side, but he could see it and he tried adjusting it. And he did a good job of saving that. That could have been a 5, and he got 6s on it because he was alert when he came out. Now, we're going to do a very similar dive, a back 1 1/2 somersaults with 1 1/2 twist. You don't quite go as high on back takeoffs, so it's hard to do 2 1/2 twists. That was a great dive. Let's see how great the judges are. 6 1/2. Great job. Okay. Forward approach. Spin backwards towards the board. 1 1/2 times. Super controlled bottom. This man's practiced basics a lot. 6s. Okay. This is one of the simpler dives in the optional category, rated at 2.0. And a little bit short. Let's see. 4 1/2 5s. Okay. This reverse 1/2 is considered a blind dive because you can't really see the water or the board when you come out. Yep. Makes it a little more difficult to do, and they give it a little more DD. Okay, Philippe. A back 1/2 pike. He was a little soft in the stomach, so he, what we call hipped in, which means he headed towards the board a little more than he wanted to, and made the bottom a little difficult to control. But the form and the toe point was amazing. Jack, back 1 1/2 tuck. Very solid dive for him. Very good. 5 1/2 6s for him. Good job. Now Noah, who's a part-time shipbuilder, is going to do a back 1 1/2 somersaults tuck. Wow. Great job. Let's see what the scores are. 6s mostly. Great job, Noah. Adrian. Going to do a much more difficult dive. 3.0. He's going to take a forward approach, spin backwards towards the board 2 1/2 times. It's going to be a fast somersault and pretty good bottom. At a top was a little cut off, which means he didn't go as high as he could have. And you get 4 1/2s and 5s on a difficult dive. Okay, 2.2, inward 1 1/2 somersault stuck. Very solid. Wasn't quite sure of the come out, but very solid. Let's see what he gets. Okay. Let's see. We got inward 1 1/2 somersaults pike. Great dive, slightly over. 7.5s. Great. Okay. Another reverse 2 1/2 somersaults. Some of the most difficult dives in this meet. Great hurdle, decent top, little curved, good out. When I say curved, you went a little to the side. And 5.5, 6s, and a couple 6.5s. Okay, he's going to do the forward 1 1/2 somersaults, but it won't be boring because he's going to put 2 and twist in the middle. Excellent. Great job on the bottom. Probably didn't maximize his reach and his height, but he got 5.5s. Okay. And keep in mind, I'm the replacement announcer, so forgive me if I'm not as good as Crystal. Okay, inward 1 1/2 somersaults tuck. Pretty average, and you got average scores, 5s. Okay. Inward 1 1/2 somersaults tuck. This is 2.2. Okay. Opened up a little the early side, but he opened up straight. And he got 5s. Okay, this dive's rated a little bit harder. He's starting at the end of the diving boards. It's a reverse 1 1/2 somersaults and pike. Reach up. Wow. The dive was okay, but the bottom was great. And some of them rewarded him for the bottom. Jack's doing the same dive, but he's going to bend at the knees, so it's going to be in tuck. Oh boy. Now, Jack was leaning forward as he came off the board, which makes it really hard to go straight up. But they did give him 4.5s. That also made him out and short. Okay, Noah, inward 1 1/2 somersaults, tuck. Awesome top, solid bottom. Get 6.5s and 1 5.5. And the 5.5 was most likely caused because when he opened up, he had flat feet, but he immediately pointed them. But an alert coach caught it. Now, Adrian going to do the same dive and add 1 more somersault. It's going to be an inward 2 1/2 somersaults, tuck. Okay. Good job. A little wide on the throw, but let's see. 5.5s, but it's rated at 3.1. So he'll get a lot of points on that. Now we're starting the last round. The pressure's really here on these kids now. And he's going to do a back 1 1/2 somersaults with a half twist. Twist, and then the other one somersault. Okay. Mostly 5.5s. Okay. Now we're doing a forward 2 1/2 somersaults in pike. Good hurdle. Good dive. Okay. Great dive. Nah, very good dive. Okay. Mostly 7s. Even got an 8 on that. Dropped his head a little on the early side on the somersault throw, which actually cost him a little bit because his head's down. Okay, we're back. Back 1 1/2 somersaults pike, extremely solid, very good out. Nice toe point, nice lines. 6s for the most part. Another forward 2 1/2 somersaults pike, 2.6. Let's see how he does. It's hard to have a good pike when you're tall, but he has a pretty good pike. He didn't get in very deep, so it was a little bit slower, finished a little bit lower than he wanted. And the judges noticed it too with 4.5s. Now, finishing up with a 303C on his last dive, a reverse 1 1/2 somersaults. It's a hard dive to finish on because you want to go hard, but it's difficult to go hard on that dive because you don't want to go over. Very solid. And got 5s. Okay. Forward 2 1/2 somersaults pike. Let's see what we have here. Good hurdle. Okay. Good hurdle, but a little late throwing down. That made him short. And not only was he short, the scores were short. Okay. Philippe will be doing a back 1 1/2 somersaults with 1 1/2 twist in the middle. Starts backwards but goes in the same way as a front dive would because he's adding another half twist, a 1 1/2 twist. There we go. Now he had a slight wobble on the come out, and he got 6s on a very clean dive. Jack's going to do the same dive, but he's going to take one twist out. So it's going to be a back 1 1/2 somersaults with half a twist. Up, half turn. Okay. Pretty solid. Something wasn't quite square when he piked. And that's why he got 5.5s. Now Noah's going to do the same dive. Back 1 1/2 with a half twist. Okay, very solid. He initiated the twister with his upper body, so it looks a little cockeyed, but he got 5.5s and 6s. Adrian from Texas, but has a Swedish diving coach in Texas. And he's doing a forward 1 1/2 somersaults with 2 twists in the middle. Okay. He started, he lost his balance and stopped. That's called a balk. And the table, the scoring table, will take off 2 points from every judge. So here he goes. 2 twists, lost his legs in the middle. So he's going to get a low score, and then they're going to take off 2 points from each of those scores. So if he got a 5, it will now be a 3. We're waiting for the scores. Okay, 3.5. Okay, thank you very much for watching. We're coming from one of the best pools in Europe, and we only have an average announcer until Crystal gets back, when you'll have a superior one. Thank you.